injured cards.
Welcome in. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. I'm Jay Capron. We have Ron Solsrud here, owner and operator of Petland of Iowa City with his family. And they're located right off Lower Muscatine near the Iowa City Marketplace, formerly Sycamore Mall. Ron, how are things?
Very good.
You're in the post-Christmas, the big deep breath that all retailers take, right? So you made it through the holiday season?
Yeah, actually, this is usually our peak month.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that, do you think?
I don't know if it is the pet industry, but it continues to rock on. There is not much of a up and down cycle for us, but for the next 3 months, if you had to say there was a high, this is the high. It's not a big difference, but yeah. It's
interesting. So there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about today. If you're new to the show, essentially this is a new time slot that we have. And we always encourage you, if you're a fan of this show and you can't catch it at the time that it airs, that you can use the podcast and listen at your own convenience. I know both Ron and I are fans of podcasts. I've been using them more and more, and it's really kind of convenient. You can listen to your favorite shows when you want to. And so if this doesn't fit in your schedule, just be sure to get the podcast of this show. It is made available earlier in the week. It's made available Thursday, and you're hearing this on the radio right now on Sunday. It's new time slot Sundays at 9 a.m. So this show has a lot of different fun features. We always have the amazing pet story of the week. We have a breed of the week, so we always focus in on a different breed. It's kind of a fun way to learn about all the different breeds out there. There's a whole bunch of them, most of which Ron carries at the store, but occasionally sometimes the ones that we don't. I think we've done the Blue Heeler before and Weimaraner, and those aren't traditional ones that we carry, but it's always interesting for me to learn about that. So today it's the Lhasa Apso. That's the breed of the week. We're also going to have the amazing pet story of the week, as I mentioned. And Ron, what else are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about dietary supplements. We're going to start the conversation with, are those premium, are those better brands really better? I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. One of them is the dietary supplement aspect of them, and we'll go through those supplements. And if you've ever considered, hey, is that something I should be getting my dog in addition to the dog food? We're going to go through a bunch of them today, so you'll get a good smattering of what's available for your dog or cat out there, and whether it's the right one for you.
Good word, smattering. I like it. Ron, you've been the owner of Petland for what, 9 years?
9 years.
Okay,
yeah,
so in a general sense, how has the pet supplement industry changed in 10 years from when you started?
Dramatically. It went from almost non-existent to huge at this point. It's a booming industry in the dog, and it's because a lot of what we do with our ourselves gets translated to our pets,
right?
And so it takes a little time for that to happen. And there's, how there's agencies that guarantee supplements for us. There's the same that have now been developed for dogs and cats.
I believe it.
And so everybody's getting their stuff approved and making sure that they're doing the right thing and all that kind of thing. So it's a really established market at this point.
Right. Well, and the key is you don't want to do the whole snake oil thing. You don't want to be wasting your money. But some of the things I know you're going to talk about, some of this is proven, and there's people who really have found ways to help with problems and issues that they're having simply through a supplement that haven't gone to the vet's office all the time.
Hey, the veterinarians prescribe or recommend these. And I'm one of those individuals I'm opposite with the market. All I took all my life was the multivitamin. Started when I was a little kid, little Flintstone things. And I just continued it on. My kids even, why do you take those? Because I always have, and I hear people having iron deficiencies or whatever deficiencies. I go, I'm taking it so that I know I don't have that deficiency, even though I have a really good diet. I really pay attention to it. Why I changed, because now I do take omega-3s. I do take glucosamine, chondroitin. I take all sorts of different things. Now my kids laugh at me because they're like, gosh, you're like a hypochondriac or something.
It's like my mom, too. She wakes up and she's got her little pill, all these different ones she takes, the glucosamine and all these other ones. Yeah.
The reason why I take them, not because some person told me they worked. I was seeing that the dogs and cats were getting it, and they were getting benefits from it. And I'm like, well, if they get it, and it works for them, it's got to be doing something good for me. So I actually do it because I saw such great effects with dogs and cats.
Yeah, and certainly one of the things that comes to mind is with glucosamine and some of the other ones that are out there. There's a lot of dogs that have issues with hips, certain breeds in particular. And I know my wife's aunt and uncle had 2 German Shepherds that both, one much worse than the other, really started limping around a lot, and it was sad. You know, they were taking to the doctor trying to find ways, and they were I don't remember what they used, but they were able to find something that helped them out, and that's just a good feeling to know that you helped. You know, your dog doesn't have the pain anymore, and some of that stuff we're going to talk about today. So we'll talk about the dietary supplements today. We'll also have the amazing pet story of the week, and the breed of the week is the Lhasa Apso. There's a long history here that we're going to tell you about. It is what, Tibetan monks, or is it Buddhist monks? I don't remember what it was.
Okay, so we're going to combine those two. Tibetan nobility and Buddhist monasteries back over in the Himalayan Mountains. That's where the breed originates from.
Oh,
and there's one. They said, hey, that's me.
Chimed in. And is it a boy, girl?
Yes.
Okay. We should mention that, too, for those of you listening on the radio. You can check out this on our Google Hangout. Right?
Yeah, Google Hangouts, and then it posts it on to YouTube.
Yeah, if you just search Petland Radio on YouTube, you'll see our shows, and you'll be able to see these little guys. We'll hold them up in a little bit so you can see. It was really interesting when they came in. I'm always curious how they're going to react, and they wouldn't have came out, I don't think, unless I reached in and pulled them out because they were sleepy here today. But now you just heard them bark. They're really cute. 2 Lhasa Apso poodle mixes. They're both black. And
one's black, the boy is black, and then the girl is got that really dark brown, just amazing. And both of them, when they look at you, they got those black pearl eyes that look at you, and you just go, whoa! They melt everything in you. It just they're
holding one up right now on the camera so you can see this little fur ball. And
we'll post pictures on Facebook as well, so that you can see some pictures.
And they are available here if you were for the Thursday show when we take this, but I don't know if they'll still be here by Sunday, but if they are stop by, the average stay at your store is what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks, yeah, we're right at 2 weeks.
So as we roll along, let's do the amazing pet story of the week. Big voice guy, it's your turn. Come on into the studio. Come on, don't take your time. We got a show to do. Let's go.
It's a little scruffy. Is he growing a beard or something?
How about a shave, big voice guy? Come on, clean yourself up a little bit.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Did he take the whole New Year's resolution? What kind of resolution did he take?
To not clean up? Is that what's going on? All right, so here we go. We go to New York for the amazing pet story of the week. The Livonia family narrowly escaped an overnight fire that destroyed everything that they owned. The outcome may have been deadly, except for the actions of their house guest, Teddy, a 100-pound golden retriever. That's a big golden retriever. 100 pounds?
Yeah, that's
probably a little too heavy there.
Big boy.
But the hero here, Kelly Seward, who was in the home at the time, says that everyone just kept petting him, telling him, "Good boy, Teddy," after the incident took place. Everybody was asleep, which is what this, unfortunately, sometimes you hear about these horrific fires that tend to happen while people are sleeping. And in this particular case, Teddy heard or sensed the fire, smelled the fire, whatever it was, started barking. And you hear, again, stories like this all the time, which is great. And he woke everybody up in the house. They got outside, and they said there was two boys, too, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. So this family's life was saved. Who knows if they would have woken up. Sometimes the carbon monoxide leaks in, and there's some tragic endings. But Teddy, the hero here, the amazing pet story.
Bet you that little doggy, big doggy, has got some treats,
some extra treats,
and bones and hides and all sorts of stuff.
I think she heard that.
Where's mine?
Where's mine? Oh, now they're doing their puppy pouncing, which is awesome. I love that. She's backing up with her butt in the air and getting ready to jump on the other one. And
they're giving you a show over there.
Yeah, they're having a good time now. So I'm glad that they're up and rolling here. As we're up and rolling, it's the amazing pet story of the week. You just heard it. Teddy, the golden retriever that helped save the family's life in New York. Great story there. We are going to get you the breed of the week here coming up in a little bit, the Lhasa Apso. When we come back with the program, we're going to have Ron tell you about the Lhasa Apso and that history that we told you, the Tibetan monks and the Buddhist monasteries. You're going to hear about just how that all ties in, and we'll learn about the breed, which is represented in these two dogs. They're half Lhasa Apso, half poodle, and we'll learn about that Lhasa Apso portion and find out what characteristics they have, size, and other attributes to the Lhasa Apso. That's coming up here. We want to remind you to stop by Petland of Iowa City. They're located right off Lower Muscatine. It's right across from the Sycamore Mall, aka Iowa City Marketplace. And as we go to break, Ron, I know you like to feature the $5 nail trims. They're a popular thing, and you've got that buy 10 get 1 free food, right?
On all the dog and cat food. We also are just great. Ask us questions. If you've got some issues that you've been struggling with, we're a great resource to tap into to find out, hey, what's another way I can stop the barking or the biting or the chewing or the potty training issues, all those kind of things. That's what we deal with on a day-to-day basis with puppies and everything. So we're ready to answer those questions. And if you're looking for, hey, something out of the ordinary, unique way of handling it, we've talked about it already. And so we just can find out what's the right solution for you.
The most popular reasons that people end up giving up on their dogs and getting rid of them is barking, biting, and it is
potty training. Yeah, those three are, hey, I can't deal with it anymore. All of them are trainable. You can deal with that. I myself, the reason why we bought Petland was because I was fascinated by training. And it was our dachshund Callie who did two things really, really well: pooped and pee only in the house.
Oh.
And then barked a lot. And so I figured out, working with a veterinarian, on how to handle that. And to this day, Callie rarely ever barks and will hold it, forever it seems, and take her business outside.
That's
so
great.
We've turned both of those right around.
A lot of solutions to those problems you might be having with your pets available at Petland of Iowa City. We'll be back with more after this. It's the Positively Petland Show. That's Ron Salford. I'm Jake Capron. Back with more after this. We can just dive right back in, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. I'm Jay Capron, morning host here on KXIC, and we have Ron Salzer, the owner of Petland of Iowa City. And just tuned in, we shared a story about a golden retriever that saved a family's life in New York by waking him up when there was a fire. We also talked a little bit about dietary supplements now that industry has changed, and we're going to talk more about that coming up in a little bit. Maybe help solve you with a problem that you might be having with your dog or cat. So stay tuned for that. But right now it's time for the breed of the week. It's the Lhasa Apso. Certainly a silly name, Lhasa Apso. I don't know if you have the meaning. Do you know the executive part of what you unveil here? Do you have the meaning of that?
I have the origin of the name.
I love it. So people may recognize this dog as being the show dogs that they kind of look like a mop. They have that long hair, but very well groomed mop, those show dogs. And when they run, the whole, the hair it's this long groomed hair. And
cleans your house.
They look like they can clean your house up. But these particular dogs we have in the studio are half Lhasa Apso and half poodle, and they have more of that curly poodle look to them. Yeah. But you definitely see the Lhasa Apso too. So tell us about the Lhasa Apso, Ron.
So they originate hundreds of years ago from the Himalayan Mountains. So we're already in a different country, and they were looked at as guarding homes for the Tibetan nobility and for the Buddhist monasteries. Now, I'm going to do a caveat. Guarding is not what I think the Lhasa Apso is really good for. They might, if you promote it, they might bark really well, but these are not big dogs. These are small dogs. We're only going to get 12 to 18 pounds. So the ability to guard is really, really small on these guys. The origin of their name is because they were developed near the sacred city of Lhasa.
Okay.
And so that's where that comes from. And then in 1933, Sudam Cutting introduced the breed to the U.S. as a gift from the 13th Dalai Lama.
Oh.
That's just some very interesting information. Now, is this breed right for you? That might, hey, that's kind of intriguing. I like the history of that one. These would be considered a low shedding dog. They're even a non-shedding dog sheds, just like you or I, our hair sheds, they would shed. And so this one doesn't quite meet the non-shedding aspect, but it's not much. So it would require grooming and things like that as far as cutting, going to a groomer. The puppy cut is what I see the most frequent cut for the Lhasa Apso, or in the future with these Lhasa Apso poodles, the same thing. These guys have a poodle mix, probably to pull them even closer into the non-shedding side of things. So that would be that. And then the Lhasa Apso is known for its luxurious fur, beautiful colors, and you can see that in these puppies. Their coat just shines.
Yeah, even as little pups here, they are definitely shiny, and they're beautiful fur. They're very soft. Does that stay here with this breed?
Yeah. The fur is that's what they're really, really known for, is that the color, the texture, everything about that fur is the Lhasa Apso. And these have just that tighter curl due to the poodle. Again, so is this the right breed for you? The size we talked about, 12 to 18 pounds on average. It can be a little smaller, it can be a little bigger, based on genetics and things like that. Do you have the right size of environment for them? If you live in an apartment or condo, this would be a great breed for you, because they're so small, they'll get all the exercise requirements out within your apartment. Now, going for walks, that's all bonus. That's great. They would love to go for walks for you. They would actually be able to, once you get above 10 pounds, a dog is going to be able to go for those longer walks with you. Those smaller than 10 pounds, and after a couple of blocks, they're like, I've had it. I really don't want to go any further. And so you end up picking those up. These guys will be able to go for that little bit of a longer walk on that. And we talked about the brushing and everything that you're going to need to do. Realize that a non-shedding breed is a higher maintenance dog, because you have to comb, brush. When you give them a bath, you got to get the blow dryer out and blow dry it out so that it poofs out really nicely. So a little bit higher maintenance as far as that goes. But a lot of people say, hey, that's nothing. I would love to do that. Another thing is on this breed is less stinky. Because of the non-shedding aspect, they don't have those glands that produce the smells that sometimes we don't like on the dogs. It would be less with these dogs. Now, if they go outside and roll in something, all bets are off. You're going to have to give them a wash in the bath and blow dry after that. So they're a nice non-shedding breed. And then their temperament is right in the middle there as far as nice family dog. You can socialize them really well with your kids, with their friends, with the rest of your family, so that you have a nice, pleasant dog. So it's a great breed all around.
It sounds like it, yeah. And the smell here, these little guys smell quite good. They have that new puppy smell. I don't know, did you spray them with that cologne too?
I always have some cologne with me. But they have that puppy smell that just overwhelms anyways.
Yeah, that's always great. And so these two are certainly beautiful little pups, and sound like a great breed there. Lhasa Apso, certainly well loved.
Devin is right now. Oh, did she just call in?
Stop it. No, she wants the mini Yorkie, not mini Yorkie, just a Yorkie.
A Yorkshire Terrier.
That's what she wants someday. So we'll see if we can make that step. But Lhasa is a cute little guy too, though.
Yeah.
So take a look at these here.
Jack would probably like the little bigger of a dog.
I think I want a bigger dog for him to romp around. I don't. That's probably also just related to my own memories. But I don't have.
What's the second dog you get?
Yeah.
When you start building that family,
right.
More.
I used to love. I actually played football. I taught my dog how to play football in our basement. He knew the couch was where he needed to get, and it was really cool. I had a football, and he chewed the end off the whole thing, so it was deflated. So we'd I'd throw it, and then he'd run and try and get to the couch, and I'd literally tackle him as a little boy and hang on to him, and he'd pull me around and stuff. So
there's a football team that's getting charged with something on
deflating the football. Yeah, maybe it was a.
Maybe they got the idea from you, from your dog.
Yeah. They pulled the ends off the ball. The Patriots, yeah. So anyway, that is the breed of the week, the Lhasa Apso. So if your Lhasa Apso or any other breed is having some issues, there may be a supplement to help you out with that, and that's what the topic is now, as Ron is going to talk about some dietary supplements. So is there one that's like the most popular by far? Is it standalone, or is it a mix of a whole bunch that are popular?
I would say there's
right?
there's two that fit that. Like, what are the most popular? Glucosamine and chondroitin. So those that help out with joints, joint supplements. And there's a category that we'll go through on that. And then omega-3 fatty acids. People are trying to do less shedding, with their dog, or their dog has hot spots, and so they're trying to get that coat as healthy as possible so that those characteristics are way diminished.
Okay.
So what I want to start the conversation out with is good nutrition has a lot of these supplements already in them. So if you're going to a grocery store or a mart type place, a big box store, and you're getting your food, realize those do not have the supplements and everything in them. If they do, it's at a really, really low rate to not even do any good for them. Those products are all sold on prices when you go in there. People in the grocery stores and in those big marts are walking in looking for what's the best value, what's on sale. They're buying on price. Those manufacturers have to compete on price then. And so what they do is they take the more expensive stuff, the nutritional stuff, out and then fill it with something that's cheaper. In this case, we know that it's what we call quote unquote filler stuff that is not even, doesn't do anything for your dog. Usually doesn't harm the dog either, but it doesn't do anything. So you're buying a lot of air, type thing when you're carrying that bag out to your car. It's a great price, but it's not doing much for you. When you go to a specialty retail store like Petland, Iowa City, we have premium brands in there. And yes, there are some that are price competitive and all that kind of stuff, but majority of what the food that we have on the shelf is higher price. So I'll say it right there. But you are going to feed less of it because it has all the right nutrients and they're more digestible. So the dog will actually, when they eat kibble per kibble, they're going to get a lot more digestible nutrients from those premium brands. I've made many, many comparisons over the years and found, and here I've done it at my home over a long period of time and found that my dog eats half as much of a premium brand as they would one of the grocery or mart big box store brands. So you're going to get a lot more for your money. And to me, it ends up being a wash. They're both the same price. They're going to eat twice as much of the cheap ones and eat half as much of the more expensive one. There's no real price difference at the end of that. The first benefit you get from that is less cleanup because what they put in their mouth is going to eventually come out. And with the premium brands, you end up picking up less as a result. And that most people go right there, I'm in, give me that premium brand. The second thing that these premium brands have that the more economical, the cheaper ones don't have are the supplements that we know help the dogs and the cats. And so that's what I wanted to focus in today is, hey, what are those supplements? How do they help my dog? So that you can get the premium brand and find out, hey, did that solve my problem for my dog? Usually it takes 30 to 90 days to see those results. So try them out for a little bit longer of a time and see how it works for your dog or cat. But then here with our Callie, she is geriatric. She's a senior, and she does have senior issues right now. She has senior moments. No, wait, that's me. She has back issues and neck issues right now. So the joints are getting old and they're not working like they used to and all that. So we supplement glucosamine and chondroitin right now for Callie, and that has made a dramatic effect where she was immobile, she was non-mobile, she wasn't able to walk around. We then fed her the supplements, and within a week, she was back up and running and getting around and all that kind of stuff. So we maintain that now for her. So it's just an example of, there's that kind of a thing in the senior diets of the premium brands, but we're even going to supplement it more because our dog needs more of it. So we'll talk about these dietary supplements and stuff that you might want to up the dosage for your dog as well.
Depending on what your dog or cat may be experiencing, we talked a little bit about the hip issues. That could be a problem. If you start giving your dog the supplement and then you notice it stops limping, well, that's a slam dunk right there.
Right, so, you're going to go, holy cow, give me more of that stuff.
Right, so you picked up, you have a gold bottle. It looks like, almost looks like a hand lotion for humans. in the
It's
bottle.
a pump bottle,
Pump bottle
that you're going to pump right into the food. So you're going to do a squirt onto their food. And it's like it says, this one is salmon oil.
And that right away, salmon oil makes me think, oh, this is going to be stinky, but it says right there, unscented.
Right. And so I think you'll smell a tiny bit. I use this product at home. I don't really pay attention. If I put my nose up to it, I probably would smell it.
Yeah.
But I do it.
Smell.
Yeah, that's no big deal. So this is in the omega-3 and fatty acid side of things that are known to help out the skin and coat of your dog. And there's some other health benefits from it as well, but that's the main reason why people do it. So I have seen countless dogs where they had hot spots or shedding issues or whatever. They've supplemented it up with this product, and there's variations of it. I have one called Love Drops. I always get a kick out of that one. But it has some, in addition to salmon oil, it has brewer's yeast and some other things that will also help out the dog's skin and coat. All of these, I've just seen it over and over again. They bring it home, they use it. The dog might have allergies in the summer, so they only see it in the summer. They feed this product maybe as they're coming into the summer season, and the dog has less allergy issues, skin allergy issues in the summer as a result. Or if they have a hot spot that is year-round, they start feeding the omega-3 fatty acids. And again, it's lessened or gone so that they don't even have the issue. So this is one of those that I now take as a result. I didn't have hot spots or anything like that. But you know how in the summer or in the wintertime, you got those like itchy patches?
Yeah.
I mean, even when I was younger.
I'm out in the yard doing some yard work, I'll get itchy with some of the, I don't know if it's
that might be a summer allergy type thing. Yeah. In the winter, I just get some dry skin, and it's localized, and it's every year it's in the same place. Started taking omega-3 fatty acids, and I don't have that problem anymore. It was a minor issue in the big picture, but I'm like, you know what? It'd be nice if my skin was healthier and all that kind of stuff. And so I even take omega-3s and fatty acids.
You don't put salmon oil in your food, though.
I don't put it over my kibble, no.
Unscented salmon oil, that's the first one.
No, I just do the pill type thing for myself.
It's Nature Vet is the brand.
Yeah, Nature Vet is what we have, their full lineup. And so what I love about Nature Vet is they have it in a liquid that you can put over the food. They have it in a pill if you like to give pills. They have it in chewables that the dog actually likes. And so you've got a lot of different ways to get it into your dog. And I always just find out what's best for your dog. It's all guaranteed. So if you take it home and you do it, and like, no, my dog won't eat it, then bring it back in. Let's try one of the other versions of it. So if it's in the chewable that you need, then you go get the chewable.
That's nice to know too. So you don't have to, it's no risk there. You can try it out, and if it doesn't work, or if you want to try something else, you can bring it back if you need to, but hopefully you can find the right one. So now you have a big red bottle out here.
Called HipFlex.
HipFlex.
And so we talked about, omega-3s was one of the leading supplements. Glucosamine and chondroitin is the next one. That's a really big item that a lot of people get because they've heard, seen, and have experienced over the years that it does help. This one I love because I've met the inventor of the tart cherry additive that they've put in there in addition to the glucosamine and the chondroitin. And so the tart cherry is clinically proven to help with better joints, lubrication, all that kind of stuff, so that if the pain goes away and you're more flexible and all that kind of stuff. So this one's called HipFlex. Really, this one is one of those really advanced products out there that has all the good stuff that we know works for you in it. And so again, so now you're getting into the bigger dogs, like what we talked, that have, even at young ages, their hips, they get sore or whatever because they were really working out and playing and all that kind of stuff. Especially then all the dogs in their senior years, when they start getting, they're just like us. When they get out of bed, it's like, I got to stretch out a little bit. I got to move slowly. And then you kind of move back into, normal life. This helps with that growing old, that senior type issues that we experience, and then our pets as well. So all of this is applicable to the cats as well. So the tart cherry with the glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, even this I'm going to have a hard time saying this, hyaluronic acid. I know I just said that wrong.
That's all right.
Somebody can
well, we're in a
correct
university town, so
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
Yeah, somebody's like, oh my gosh, did he butcher that one?
wrong about that.
All those things that we know help us are now in pet forms so that they can help your pets as well. So again, we have this in many different forms, from pills to liquids to put over the food, to chews, so that they're in the form of a treat for the dog or the cat. So a lot of different ways to get them in your dog. Again, all guaranteed. If it didn't work, if they didn't need it, bring it back in. We'll get you a different kind and your money back type thing.
Cool. Before we move on to the next supplement, I'm curious. This is more of a curious question, but I always hear about German Shepherds. I hear about bulldogs too. I know dachshunds have back issues, but in general, are there any other breeds that stand out that tend to have issues with their hips? Since we're talking
all
about hips,
large breeds, all of them fall into that category. Some people will focus on certain breeds that they might know more of, but all large breeds, and they've tried to, over the years, many hundreds of years, breed that out so that they have stronger hips. And it's one of those genetic things that they can't get rid of. The same thing with us.
Yeah.
If we could, over the years, breed something out of us, we would be bad backs for us, type thing. They would breed it out, but we just can't.
Yeah, and
it's just part of our makeup.
I mentioned
gravity is always there.
It's always fighting. We're always fighting against it. And I mentioned my wife's aunt and uncle who had the two German Shepherds, and they both had issues with their hips. And I've also heard other people talk about older German Shepherds, particularly, and still a lot of them having that issue. So if you have a German Shepherd or a large breed, especially the ones that are getting up there in age a little bit, you may want to consider one of these supplements and help them out and get rid of that pain if they notice they're limping around a little bit, and be preemptive with it, and be proactive, and start it, in their mid-years maybe, and ward it off a little bit, see if it works for you. So we're talking about supplements here. That's Ron Salzer. He's with Petland of Iowa City. He's the owner. And I'm Jake Patron, and we're rolling along. You brought up a whole bunch of more things from Nature Vet. It looks like a bunch of chews.
Yeah, so these are in the chew forms, but the supplements are all different. Now, these are use them as you need them type aspects. So have you heard of coprophagia lately? We all know about coprophagia, but we might not have heard the name. That's that thing when the dog just eats the poop, and you're like, what the nut is going on?
Gross topic, but I'm sure there's someone listening that their dog does that.
That is coprophagia, and this product you would feed to
the pooper.
The pooper. That's a good way of doing it right there. I struggled for 9 years on how to explain that. And you put this so that it's in the poop, it makes the poop not attractive to eat. And the bottom line or the background of that is they don't digest like we digest, and they have smelling like our eyesight. So it's very detailed. So they smell the stinky like we do. They smell all the good stuff too, and they can somehow block out the stink part.
See, now that's such a simple solution, and I'm thinking there's people listening that maybe have that issue, and now it's like, oh wow, I can just take that, feed it to the pooper, and they'll stop that disgusting habit, especially if they want to give you a kiss right afterwards. Yeah. But one quick question is, I noticed there's a dog on a picture of a dog there. Can you feed those to cats if the dogs like to get into the cat box?
There is a version. Yeah, but we hardly ever sell this stuff, because
the top entry box.
Yeah, there is a non-chemistry way of handling that, and that's with the Clever Cat top entry box that is worth every single penny. It's $4.99 or something, which is the price of a litter box.
We were a family that had the traditional box until I started the show. That was like 4 years ago now, but the side box that you get at the marts, that they get in there, and one of our cats particularly loves to just kick the litter around after it goes, and that would all come out onto the floor. So I'd be sweeping up every day. Yeah. Got this box, and since then,
tracking
maybe once a month,
right?
Because if they enter through the top, and then they can kick all they want, it all stays in the box, and then they come out, and there's even some grooves to help the tracking when they get out.
The cat actually wipes its paws off, and it's natural. It's just what they do. Mm-hmm. And have you ever noticed that your cat? It'll just. And that's then getting the litter out of the paw, between the toes of the paw. And so it gets it out of that. So then when they hop down, it's all gone.
Yeah.
They don't even have it.
If you have a cat, you get that entry box, you won't regret it.
So that's how to help. If the dogs are eating the cat poop, that's the thing. You get that top entry box, because then you're not having to feed it chew. You're not even thinking about it anymore, and you're not having to sweep the tracking anymore. So you're like going, oh, this is what I need to get. For dogs, use the Copafrasia deterrent soft chews that stops them from eating their own stool.
Nice. I'll let you behind the curtain a little bit here. Both dogs are attacking my shoelaces. Right?
Yes,
they love dog. I don't know if you can tell or not. Yeah, they were much more active than when the show started, and now they found one of my shoelaces, so they are tugging away. So if I yelp, it might be because I got bitten.
I want to hear a yelp out of you.
Sharp puppy teeth, you know. But yeah, they're having a good time here. 2 Lhasa Apso poodle mixes here at the IC Studios. What else do you have?
All right, so the no scoot. I just love the picture on here. Does your dog scoot? Because it's got something going on down below and it just is itchy, and so it's scooting around with it. So it's got his butt to the ground, and then with the front legs are pulling him around. There's a gland issue there. Long term, you might want to get that checked out by your veterinarian. But part of it is just expressing the gland with their normal bowel movements. And so this product helps express those glands naturally. And you just, again, you feed a little nugget to them, and it solidifies the poop a little bit, also deters the gland from filling up as much, and it just solves the problem for you naturally through their nutrition. So that's called No Scoot by Nature Vet. Hugely great product if you find your dog is scooting and or releases that smelly liquidy stuff on the couch or the rug and all that. No Scoot will help with that to prevent that from happening anymore. Next one is Stool Ease, so kind of the opposite of what we just talked about, and that is a stool softener. So as they get older, if they need a little stool softener or a little help in the whole process, or you find that they're constipated, this product is really good for that. So it loosens things up. So that's in a chew form. Digestive enzymes, we have a lot of probiotics, prebiotics, digestive enzymes, kind of like the whole eating yogurt thing. This is a really wonderful product in that if there are nervous breeds out there, like the Husky, like the German Shepherd, where they'll get loose stools because something just gets into their craw type thing, and they start exiting with a really loose stool. The digestive enzymes tightens everything back up again, so it's a really critical product to have then when they're a little sick, and maybe that's not a virus within their intestines or anything, but they just don't feel well. The digestive enzymes will help out in that way. Changing foods is another great application for the digestive enzymes. So again, a really good Nature Vet product that helps in so many different ways. This is one of those, feed it to them all the time, and you just get a nice regular dog. Even when things happen, you're already prepared for it.
Good. One last one here today.
Last one. Everybody right now doesn't understand that when their dogs are peeing out there, they're urinating in a very tight spot. The snow is accumulating it, it's freezing it, and then when we get a thaw, like we're going through right now, it releases it directly down into the grass. The sun comes in, bakes it. You got a high nitrite concentration, highly acidic. Now you're going to get that burnt patch of lawn in the summertime. So right now we're not seeing it happening because the sun is really not out there and growing the grass, but it's happening. So you want to be feeding Grass Saver right now.
Boy, I could have used that a while ago when we did have a dog. We had a lawn that for whatever reason he didn't like to go in one area. He was just spreading it out.
He was spreading it well.
Yeah, so he would go in one place, next place, and some dogs will go in that same spot, and it makes it easier on you because you know where all.
Yeah, that's what more our dogs
do. He just go there and there. So there were times the lawn just spots everywhere. So this would have been a good one.
Right, and we got it in different everything from soft chews to tablets that are really economical to feed.
So here in January, you can be feeding this.
You want to, because this is when the damage is occurring. You just don't see it until, you know, into the springtime when you're like, wow, all these spots are showing up all of a sudden. That was because what was going on back in the winter months. So feed this year around, and you'll get a much healthier grass, a lot less burning, so that you don't have all that repair to do during the summer. So Grass Saver, again, by nature of that, is a really, really good product.
I like it. It's Grass Saver Soft Chews. And so we have a couple more minutes here with the Positive Petland show. If you just tuned in, just keep in mind, you can listen to this whole show from the beginning, if you'd like, on our podcast page. So we encourage you to do that, not only for this show, but a lot of our other great shows. We have had some programming changes as the new year began. So if you're looking for those city government interviews, the Downtown Dish, and some of those other great shows, they are all available at our podcast page, and you can listen at your convenience. It's kind of the way radio is going in a certain direction. I mean, I know and I appreciate live radio. I do it every morning and every weekday morning, and we enjoy that. But there are people out there that like, work out at 10 o'clock at night or early in the morning, whenever it is, and they can listen to these shows, any one of these shows, if you'd like to, with our podcast page. So keep that in mind. This show is actually available a few days earlier than you're hearing it on KXIC. We record it on Thursdays in the old time slot, and then it airs Sunday mornings in this 9 o'clock hour. So if you missed it in the beginning, we talked about amazing pet story of the week. We had a golden retriever that saved the family after a fire took place at their home in New York. We talked about the Lhasa Apso and the background behind the Lhasa Apso, how it goes back to the Tibetan monks and the Buddhists, and really kind of an interesting background there. Ron talked about the different features of that dog. We have 2 Lhasa Apso poodle mixes that have been running around the studio and still tugging at my shoelaces as I'm talking right now. And then we also have been talking about a lot of supplements. Any other supplements that you want to mention? We have a big basket there. I know we didn't get to all of them, but any of those stand out to you?
The different forms that I have in the basket are, we were talking about chews a lot. Well, some of them are in liquid, some of them are in powders.
Okay.
There's economy of scale, because if you get to the tablets, those are typically cheaper to feed. It must be easier to make, and all that's higher concentrations. And so, if you're price conscious, that's the way you want to go. But some people have a hard time getting your dog to eat those. Yeah. So then you can go to the powders, which are usually very palatable. You put it over their kibble, and they go, hey, I like what you're putting on here. It's like putting chocolate on my kibble. I love it. And then for others, they love the treat. And so you just have them all represented.
Well, and so, there's a wide variety of supplements here that we talked about today. And I know there's some dogs that you mentioned the tablets that are like experts at. You can put it in peanut butter or cheese, whatever it is, and they'll eat all the stuff around it and then spit out the tablet. And then there's other dogs that just eat the whole thing at once. So if the tablet doesn't work, there are some other options here. Anything else you want to mention?
If we got time, I can go through a little bit of an aquarium tip.
Go for it. Yeah, I've got the aquarium music here, and I like playing that. Yeah. It's you hear the bubbles. As we have a little segment here, the aquarium tip of the week. If for any of you fish owners out there, what's the tip?
The tip is there's a lot of people that are, you're in your house and you're going, gosh, I've thought about fish. I'm in the house. This might be a good time to start it. You're not alone. This is the fish season. We're actually redesigning our fish department right now. And so you'll see a lot of different fish, a lot of different ways to introduce that into your house. So that if you are one of those that tried it in the past, and you say, just like a plant, I don't have the green thumbs on the fish. It's just something not working for me. Realize there's 2 main reasons why people lose fish. They're trying to get into the hobby, but they're just like, I just don't understand why I am not successful with it. The 2 main reasons why fish die at home is because, 1, the water that you're using from your tap has chlorine in it, and it's designed to kill things, the bacteria and everything in our water. Mm-hmm. There is an easy product that you can come into our store and get that will take the chlorine out instantly, so you don't have that problem. So we have ways to eliminate that issue. The second reason is bacteria related, in that there's not enough bacteria in the fish's environment.
That's the one that surprised me the most, having fished before, because I always thought want the cleanest water. You want to clean out that whole tank, scrub everything down, and have everything nice and shiny and clean. But that's actually a bad thing.
Bad thing.
They want that they live off part of that bacteria.
Right, and you can have a clean-looking aquarium, so the glass is clean and water is really, really, really clear. That's all you can get that. The bacteria are so small you'll never see them. But what they do is they decompose the waste that is coming from the fish. If you don't have enough of that bacteria in your tank, ammonia starts to be produced, and that's what kills the fish. If you're the one that my fish die within 2 weeks, that's what's happening. And the ammonia levels get high, and they toxify the water, and the fish don't make it. So there's actually bacteria in a bottle that you can put into your tank so that you have the right bacteria in there that will decompose things, break the ammonia down into something that's not harmful for the fish, something that occurs naturally out in the lakes and ponds and all that kind of stuff, and will eventually occur naturally in your tank if you don't scrub it clean.
Yeah, it sounds backwards to put bacteria in your tank, but that's really what you want to do.
Yeah, and it's the same. I mean, if you're like, what the nut is he talking about? Our bodies work on the same principle. If we did not have bacteria, a lot of diversity and a lot of bacteria, we wouldn't survive either. So we rely on the bacteria just like the fish do.
All right, that is the aquarium tip of the week, and that's a wrap. The show is over now, and we are going to let Ron get the final word here, telling you all about his great store, Petland of Iowa City. Thanks for coming along, everybody. We appreciate it. If you missed the show, check out the podcast page. Also, we encourage you to stop by and go play. Ron, take it away.
We're Petland of Iowa City, located across from the Sycamore Mall, now known as Marketplace. Yep, our little dogs love it there. And we're all about playtime. So if you're the family or the individual that's looking for, I don't know what the right pet for my family is, come on in and we'll talk with you about it. If it's a puppy, we'll talk with you about, the different breeds and all that kind of stuff. A huge selection of breeds. And that's one of the big advantages of our store is we're not tied down to one breed. We have a lot of different breeds to help you find the right pet for your family. But let's say a puppy's not the right thing. We have kittens, we have ferrets, we have rabbits, we have guinea pigs, we have hamsters, we have reptiles, we have fish. We have a lot of different things to figure out, hey, Johnny's not quite ready for a puppy, but I think he's ready for a betta fish that he can understand what life is. And I think that's an important concept to bring into a child's life and help them understand what that's all about. So we meet the pet's needs as well as your family needs at our store, and that's what we're all about.
That's Ron Solzerd. I'm Jay Capron. This has been the Positively Petland Show on AM 800 KXIC and KXIC.com. Have a great day. Bye.